I feel like no one's gonna take me seriously with this filter, but you know what? It's Sunday. I'm about to go to bed. Like, I'm gonna answer a question. The question is, why is it going to Austria and Germany before America, Canada, and Australia? There's so many more players from there. It just makes no sense in my opinion. The number of players is completely irrelevant to this conversation because at the end of the day, Germany just had a distributor that was ready to license the movie. And I need Project Sekai players to understand that Sega is not the distributor. Krypton Future Media is not the distributor. They're companies behind the movie, yes. Then there was the studio that made the movie. But in order to bring the movie to different countries, you need a distributor. For those of you that don't want to look it up, the film distribution is the process of making the film available to an audience. And there's different types of distribution, so they could choose to go theatrical, direct to video, or video on demand, which would be streaming platforms. A big part of what distributors do is actually work on the licensing, working out an agreement with the Japanese country to bring that movie to a different country. So in this case, the German distributor, they wanted to get the rights to it to bring it to German theaters. And as part of their contract, they figure out whether they want to dub the movie, whether they just want to localize the subtitles. In the case of the German release, they're just going to be translating the Japanese subtitles into German. Another thing that the distributor handles is the whole marketing, making the posters, the trailers, all of that stuff. And they're also in charge of the delivery. That is, if it's going to get a theatrical release, they gotta get that movie into the hands of the movie theaters. So for the meantime, there has been no distributor announced for areas such as the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand. Another thing to consider is that the markets that have picked up the movie so far are much smaller in comparison to the American market. And I'm sure the American and Canadian market is going to be bundled into one with the same distributor. So at the moment, we just have to wait. But it's one of my critiques with, North American anime movie distributors. They're very slow when it's not a high grossing shonen action film. Think of the JJKs, the One Piece, the My Heroes. Like, they pick those movies up so quickly, but when it comes to everything else, like, they're very slow. As someone who lives in the US, I know it's frustrating to see all these markets pick up the movie way before the US, but it's just, yeah, it's the nature of distributors just not understanding certain franchises to its full potential, unfortunately.